Hello, everyone. So, I decided to do another reading today because I feel like my energy is in a really good space right now. There I go, my voice. As soon as I started the video, it was like my throat chakra was already. So, you might hear my son in the background. I'm a mom, and my cats are going crazy right now, like running through the house like maniacs. So, I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. But, yeah. Oh, we're still going. So I went ahead and I already pulled from my Black Moon Astrology deck. I felt really guided to pull, and every time that I go to pull from that deck, I'm always like, I want one card. Like, I want one card that's going to be like the center of the reading. And it never happens like that. They're big cards and they're new, so they're not like super um like worked in. Like, it's easier. The longer you have cards, the more that you shuffle them, the more that you get connected to the feel of them in your hands, the more comfortable you are using, and your messages come across even for I feel like even more clearly, because decks that I had when I first got them that I didn't feel connected with, I came back to them later, meditated with them, and had a reading come out and was crystal clear. So sometimes it's just not the right time. But today I did get two. And the first card is I Balance. And that card is in Libra. You may be a Libra. You may have Libra in your chart. And then we have the fourth house is Roots. So reading them together, it is I Balance Roots. Now, when I think about roots, I think about like lineage, or I think about ancestors. I think about the base of your family structure, belief systems, different stuff like that. But I felt connected to read in the book today. So we're going to go to Libra. And the quote stuck out to me. All my life, my heart has yearned for a thing I cannot name. So when it comes to this balance, in the depiction of this, I see like two people here, and it's like they're together, but it's almost like they're together in the 5D. They're not together in the 3D. They're together in the 5D. They're not actually touching. They're almost like hovering with each other. And I feel like what it's saying here is balance is what is needed to be able to have this 5D connection come into a 3D connection. Because what is crowning this reading is number 4, and that is Venus, and that is represented by love. So if we go to the fourth house, which is Roots, that is the quote. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret, between the shadow and the soul. And that's why I feel like that this connection here, this love connection, is a 5D connection. It's been a 5D connection for quite some time, which when we're bringing in this fourth house and we're bringing in the roots, when you're thinking about the root of all of the purpose of our life, we are seeing like this tree here of growth. And this, to me, it's two angels here, but it looks like it's praying hands, and it's like praying on this tree to growth, and and there to be abundance from this tree. Let's actually see, that could be represented by pentacles. So let's go back to the fourth house and see the Four of Cups. So it shows fulfillment. You know what I mean? It shows emotional fulfillment. And with this being roots here and this being lineage and your background, it's like what you truly want, who you truly want to have in your life to be able to have this balance and growth. Okay. So let's go to the Moonology deck. I've already pre-shuffled these cards. Whoa. That was fast. Just gonna take 3, Spirit. One more shuffle. Okay. So, we have a time to give rather than to take. So when it comes to balance, it's like give yourself the opportunity to have this balance in your life, you know, for this love. Take time to breathe it out. And I feel like that saying, it's like this is a stressful time, and you know, there's a lot of emotions and there's a lot of confusion, you know, stuck in your mind type of situations. The energy is gaining momentum, and I feel like once, you know, you're able to come into balance or find this balance in your life, then you're going to be able to see you know, this connection for what it is. A 5D connection is soulmate, twin flame, past life relationship connection, where it is so deep rooted in your soul that you realize the purpose of it in your life, because you see the lessons that needed to be learned, the things about yourself that need to be healed, the balance that needs to come into your life, groundedness, self-confidence, standing up for yourself. Maybe, you know, in the past you weren't able to stand up for yourself in this relationship or any relationship, whether that be with a significant other or that be with family and friends. It's asking you here to balance your roots. It's almost saying like, be your true authentic self. All right, Spirit, let's see what we get from these romance oracles. Thank you, Spirit. So the first card that came out is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, which is why I felt like that this connection was deep rooted. It's something that has been going on, something that has been festering, something that has been progressing, maybe even at a slow pace, but physically at a slow pace, but not mentally at a slow pace. Mentally, it is fulfilling and passionate and loving, and at this point it's starting to gain momentum, because in this separation of 3D is allowed these counterparts to see truly what this connection is. Next we have separation, and it says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So I feel like this separation is happening now, and I feel like that's why it's telling you to take time to breathe during this separation. Like, understand why this separation is necessary and what's going to come out of this situation with all of this hard work that's being done. And letting go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Don't try to control this situation, especially with this 3D connection, because other people around you don't understand it. They don't see it because it is a 5D connection. It's not 3D. It's not tangible. It's something that is deep rooted in your soul and in your mind. And a lot of people, when they don't see something physically, it's hard for them to believe it. But you know, inside, you know truly what it represents. Okay, so I can get some oracle cards to finish this out. One more, Spirit. 2 more. Okay. So the first one that came out is the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So if you come from a place of trusting in spirit and knowing that spirit is guiding you in the right direction, knowing that your ancestors, knowing about the people that came before you that still look down over you and want to see what's best for you, want to see you progress in this world financially, spiritually, through love, whatever that may be, your passions in life, the things that truly make you happy. You know, these people, these ancestors, these angels are here to let us know that like everything is going to be okay if we continue to stay faithful and continue to stay on this path of determination, because the energy is gaining momentum here, and that's what we want to see. We're seeing the progress from our hard work. Okay, so next we have, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. And like I said earlier, like those 1 cards that I got, I did a reading out of them, even just for a personal reading for myself, and I did not feel connected. And I did a reading for somebody else with them, and I didn't feel connected. And so it had been like 2 or 3 months, and then next thing I know, I'm like, I felt super drawn to these cards. And I sat down and I meditated, and I lighted some of my Palo Santo, and next thing I know, I have this reading coming out, and it was so vivid to me and clear. I was like, I needed to be patient. I needed to not just expect that it was just going to come to me that easy. I needed to understand that I needed to take the time to stew on it, to take a break, to not force it. Because when you're forcing something, a lot of times when you force it, it may fit, but it may not be fitting in there properly. It may not be the way that it was meant for it to be. And when that happens and you have flaws and imperfections, it's harder to stay on the right path when it comes to love, especially a deep-rooted 5D connection. It's harder when it's not flush. It's not going in there the right way. It's not fitting evenly, if that makes sense. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So by these oracle cards, I really feel a strong sense of spirit saying, like, you know what you want. You're set. Sorry, my son's in there having a blast. You set off on this journey, and you took this leap of faith, and you've done all this work, and you've brought yourself into balance, and you're going back to your roots, and you're paying attention to your intuition and your ancestors are telling you, you know what you want now. Now it's time to meditate and manifest. Now it's time to take it to spirit. Now it's time to take it to the Lord. The last one is, obstacles are detours in the right direction. Absolutely. And I feel like with this letting go of control issues, I feel like by you letting go of control issues and allowing this situation to unfold naturally, the way that spirit, the way that spirit wants it to be. There's a reason for that. I've learned in my life and in my spiritual journey that when something doesn't happen or when something doesn't come to me, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come to me. It just means that it is not coming to me at this moment, that it is not ready. I listened to a reading this morning where it was like, this divine masculine or this divine feminine, they're not done baking yet. You know what I mean? Like, we've already made the dough up. We've already done all of the preparations, but they're in the oven right now and they're baking, and it's going to take a little bit of time. But once that comes out, and once there's no imperfections and the recipe has been, the recipe has been, what am I trying to say right now? The recipe has been perfected. The recipe is exactly how it should be. Then at that time is when all of these beautiful things are going to come in for this love connection. When both counterparts have taken the time to work on what needs to be worked on, that is when you're able to see the blessings in this situation. That is when this connection goes from 5D to 3D. Okay, so I always check the bottom of my deck, so let's see what we got. Emotions are running high right now. And I said that earlier. Emotions are running high. There is a lot of things going on in this connection. And those of you that resonate with my readings when it comes to 3D and 5D thinking, even if you don't really know what I'm if you don't understand what I'm saying by like 5D and 3D, like 3D is like on the physical plane, when you're together or you're in communication, and maybe it's just lack. You're in communication, but maybe it's just lack. When I say something like a 5D connection, it's all in the mind. It's like telepathic communication, signs, synchronicities, songs, stuff like that. Like, you may not be in contact with this person. You may be in separation, like as it says here. But during this break, you're tapped into this 5D connection, and that's what is keeping you going. Something that you can't even see, and that's what makes it even more of a magical situation or a magical love connection. Is you're not even together in the 3D, you're not physically together, but in the 5D, the connection is so strong and magnetic that you can't question it. You start seeing all these things, and you start putting things together, and you're like, wow, okay. This on the bottom says, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Right. It's like when you come from a place of love, everything else is cast out. All of the craziness in the past and the mistakes, because you didn't know no better. All of that stuff, when you're able to release that and forgive that and let it go and know that you want to move on, and you want to see nothing but happiness come out of a connection like this, that is when you're in your sweet spot, Dominic. That is when you're in your sweet spot and you're able to see clearly and stay determined. And the last one on the romance oracles is, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And I think with this being a love read, and this also being a read talking about 5D and 3D, I feel like this twin flame, soulmate, spiritual connection is definitely it's definitely destined to happen. It's definitely divinely guided, and it may be hard during this time because you feel like that you don't necessarily have the patience for this situation anymore. But what Spirit is telling you is they're recognizing the hard work, they're recognizing the change, they're recognizing the balance, and they're seeing that you're coming from a place of love instead of a place of, I've been through so much in this connection, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Like, it's not worth my time. I'm going to move on to something new, or I'm going to try something different. And that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. If you're in a 3D or 5D connection with somebody, and you decide, you know what? I don't necessarily want to stay in this connection anymore because I've just put in so much work and I just don't feel like there's any growth, or I don't see what I foreseen in the beginning. I don't see, I'm not passionate about it or whatever. If that is how you feel about this connection, that is fine. You have your own free will. Everything can change with your own free will. And if you choose to, take a break from the situation, or if you choose to eliminate yourself from the situation, that's your own free will. But if you decide that this connection that like you can't explain, that you can't put your finger on it, you don't really understand why it's as magnetic and as strong as it is, or why it's continued to slow burn for this amount of time, it's like, maybe it's worth it. And it's telling you, this could be the one. This person could be the one. It may have taken time, but if there was lessons learned and if there was growth, then that is what Spirit wants to see. And Spirit's going to bless you accordingly to how you are reacting in this 3D world without this counterpart, right? Okay, guys, I'm probably going to upload this video. I've really been, in the beginning when I started this, I really wanted to do like the element readings. So like if you're a fire sign, if you're an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or if you're a earth sign and you're a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or an air sign or an earth sign, that I would do them in elements, and it would be like your monthly read, how the month of May is going to be, or how the month of June is going to be. So that was kind of my intention starting out, but I felt really connected by spirit to do some more channeled messages, messages that start out in quiet, you know, after my meditation. And I know a lot of people, like, they want to see the cards come out. They want to be in the energy when I'm pulling the cards. And I absolutely love doing that too. So there's a bunch of different ideas that I have up in my head. But again, I'm a mom and I have a 4-year-old. And I stay at home with him, and he is wild. But he has been doing much better with me doing my readings just right here out in the open. So if you guys want a personal reading, you're more than welcome to send me a message, and we connect with your energy and whatever you want to have a reading about, whether that's finances or romance or career, or just general. If you want to ask a question, whatever you want to do, we can definitely set something up, and we can figure things out. I know that, you know, some people think that tarot or astrology and stuff, you know, it's taboo, and people don't really understand the benefits of what this can offer your life when you're able to have clarity, and you're able to you know, kind of understand why things are happening. I've done a lot with my birth chart and understanding how I operate during certain things, and I kind of understand me now. And even in my flaws and my mistakes, I can understand when a situation comes up, and now that I know that this is in my nature, I'm like, okay, I'm going to handle this different. I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to come at this from a new perspective. I'm not going to come at this with how I've handled things in the past that didn't, you know, end well. And I feel like in this specific read, it's like, this read has to do with love. This read has to do with balance. This read has to do with roots. It has to do with family. And it's like, it may have taken quite some time, but it's come to a point where it's like, people have done the work, and people have really tried to be authentically themselves, and they've listened to their guides, and they've meditated, and they have grown immensely from the past, and they're letting the past go. They're not letting these obstacles and detours hold them back. They're taking them on as challenges, and they're coming forward, and they're being strong, because this love is worth fighting for. This 5D connection is worth fighting for in the 3D. Okay? All right, guys, you have a good rest of your day. Please like, share, and subscribe if this resonated with you. And until next time, peace and namaste.